And yeah, I would love to share this with my folks as well as my I guess you would call him my brother. He's my godmother's son-in-law.
Godmother, son-in-law. I'm just
Yeah.
going to take a couple notes so that I know in the event we connect.
His name is Ben, Bin, and he's on Instagram, so I can certainly connect you guys there as well. But thanks for taking the time to also just chat with me about you, and I look forward to learning more about your book and seeing if there's anything I can help you with. But you
Well,
had a pretty
yeah, thank you for taking the time with me. It was a great connection through Celeste.
yes.
She graciously extended the contact. She's excited. She's known about this project for a while now,
Mm,
and I'm intimately involved with Wings for Life.
yes,
So
I love it.
I've actually um, I'm excited to say that I'm going to be sharing a portion of the book profits with Wings for Life.
Oh,
So
what a
this
perfect,
is, yeah, it's an alignment. This
yes.
is the injury of which I live with. It's what I'm passionate about in terms of assisting the mission. I'd
Hmm.
like to help push that solution along. Let's find a cure.
I think that's fabulous. Good for
So
you.
yeah, I want
So
this book.
how long have you been working on this book? And you said July 26th is the publication date. So um, just kind of tell
We're
me your
getting close.
journey in writing.
Yeah, well, as you know, as a writer, it's not a glorious pursuit. It's hard work.
Yes,
It's
it
really
is.
blue collar work. It's just hammering nails every day, trying to slog content. So it has been, I mean, a decade worth of work that I've slowly blogged and compiled, and then really since COVID, I said, you know what, it's time to just do this for real. I've
Hmm.
been asked for a memoir for quite some time. I've had a documentary produced. I've had other stories along the way. And honestly, Amy, I've been a public speaker on behalf of spinal cord injury, and I've always felt like I'm just leaving people hanging when I leave an audience,
Hmm.
because my favorite part of a presentation is the Q&A, and people are so interested in more detail about backstory or about the process of healing or facing adversity, and so I really wanted to share with them, give them something tangible, give them a tool that they can take home and
I
stay
love it.
connected with me.
So are you
So
indie publishing or did you get a publisher?
I'm indie.
Oh, even more hard work.
Yeah, that's again why I'm reaching out. And as I said, I don't know what I don't know. So
Yeah, yeah.
guidance is always welcome.
Gosh, well, okay. So July 26th, what day is that of the week?
It's a Tuesday.
Okay, okay.
I do have a guide. I'm working with a great young guy out of Seattle. His name is Corey Kirby. He was a young action sports athlete, a skier. He's since become a real sage in the book world. He's got a little company called Little Cabin Press.
Hmm.
He's not my publisher. He's just guiding me through this process.
Super.
Um, he's going to help me get on Amazon, and we've done the final edits together. He's finalizing my covers
Okay, okay.
and such. But
So why July 26th?
well, when we were looking out, we wanted it to be midsummer. We wanted it to be in July, and the 26th, he was recommending a Tuesday for whatever reason. It's a good day to launch on. And July 26th is an auspicious day. It was the day my wife and I met.
Hmm.
So we always celebrate July 26th. May 26th is my injury date. And so backing up just a little bit, May 26th, in 2 weeks, I'm going to actually seed the drop. I'll go on social media and say, hey, the release date is July 26th, and I'll push out an asset, book cover, and maybe a little blurb and stuff.
Okay,
So
okay. The reason why I ask is the big five traditional publishers publish
Huh?
their books on Tuesdays.
Oh,
So
really?
new releases come out on Tuesday. The good news is you're right along with them, and you've got a pretty
Okay.
big platform with followers and stuff like that. So you're going to do great. If you were a smaller indie publisher with a no name, basically, I would stay away from Tuesday just because you're competing against those big publishers and those big authors.
I see.
But with you, Aaron, I'm not. I think that's fine. Um,
Okay. That's good to know.
good to know, right? Um, so you've done. You're going to do the cover reveal. What about your book launch? What is that going to look like?
Yeah, I haven't done the cover reveal just yet. I mean, not out, like I haven't really gone out and promoted the cover, although the cover is live on the website,
Yes,
the
I
Rebellious
saw.
Recovery.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't pushed that too much, but I will do the whole cover reveal with Instagram, like stories and feed and Facebook and all that
Yeah.
on May 26th.
Okay. It's coming up fast.
It's coming up. And I just had a meeting with Corey an hour ago. So
Okay.
we've got a lot of work to do.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm
Because
excited.
I need to get Wings for Life's approval on logo placement of the cover.
Oh, good.
I'm
Okay.
gonna have that special supporter logo.
Yeah, yeah. And have you done any preliminary like beta reading, early reviews? Is it on Goodreads, BookBub, that kind of stuff yet?
No,
Okay.
no. It's just gone through a social network, like close
Okay.
friends have read, I don't know, draft 6 and draft 7.
Are you doing this on Amazon KDP or what platform are you using?
Yeah, Amazon. What are we doing? Got this laid out with Corey. Um, yeah. What's the other one? Ingram Sparks.
Ingram Sparks, yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I guess those two
Okay.
distribution channels.
Okay. So most authors, most indie authors will do like an ebook on KDP, the Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, and then they'll do their print copies either on KDP as well or a combination of that and like Ingram Spark.
Hmm.
Um, Historically, I don't know if you're doing paperback and hardcover and
I
ebook.
will. Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. From what I've seen, Ingram Spark is the better route to go for hardcovers,
Hmm.
just because Amazon is new to the game for hardcovers and the quality and the pricing is not that great. So,
Okay, that's good to know.
so you're doing everything right, I think, as an indie publisher and author.
I'm going to postpone an audiobook
Hmm.
until we get launched and a little bit of momentum, and then I'll produce an audio.
Yeah. And I assume you're going to read that yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I don't know what value I can add here because you're doing everything. You've got Corey, and where are you at in the world?
I'm in LA. I'm in Studio City.
Okay, okay. I used to be in
Uh,
Seattle. I used to live in Seattle. Now I'm in Oklahoma. So,
Whereabouts in Oklahoma?
Edmond, Oklahoma, which is
I
30
live
minutes.
in Edmond.
Shut up.
I have so much. My mom's entire family is in Oklahoma and Texas.
Really?
So I
Okay.
have family in Edmond. I have family in Yukon. I have family in Norman. I lived
Okay.
in the city. I lived in Edmond. Prior to my injury, I was back there racing motorcycles.
Okay. Very,
And
very
then
cool.
the Panhandle, Woodward, Oklahoma, is a whole branch of my kinfolk. So I know Oklahoma well.
Okay. Okay. Well, when you come and visit, make sure that
I'll
we
come
can
out there
read.
and do a whole book thing.
Yes. Yes. I'll send all my peeps to you. Um,
We'll have fun. We'll do something together.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know what questions I can answer. Tell me a little bit about your book launch party. Are you doing a virtual and an in-person?
I haven't started any development on virtual because I want to do it in person. It's not set in stone, but it's in process to potentially do it at a place called the Last Bookstore LA.
Mm-hmm.
If you Google that, it's a cool like indie bookstore, and the founder of that place is a paraplegic. He's spinal cord injured,
Oh, no kidding.
but it's a really like happening eclectic bookstore in the heart of LA.
Huh.
But last night I acquired some live music, a cool band, and I've got a strong email list of invites. I'm working on my advanced reader copy list,
Yes.
of which it was suggested that I do, so that to your point, send off a copy for free
Yeah.
with maybe a tear sheet or something that says, if you love this book, buy a copy for a friend or family and leave a review.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because reviews are bread and butters for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you need one extra beta reader,
I'd love to
advanced
send
reader
you.
copy,
Yes,
I'd love
absolutely.
to
Let
read a
me just
review.
put your um, address down.
Yeah, yeah, I'll certainly send that to you.
Thank you.
Um, and of course, you're launching this 4 days before my birthday, so thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll actually be in Seattle July, I think 15th through the 25th. I'm doing a book signing there on the 23rd, and then I've got some other fun things going on that I'm planning. So,
Amazing.
anyways, I wish I could make it to LA, but I've been traveling a little bit with a 12-day fun romp out in the Vegas and Miami area. So I need to get back to the.
Right. The Red Bull, well, F1 in Miami.
Oh yeah, I was there. It was
How was it?
awesome, crazy. And well, I worked the event actually. So from my end, it was more work than fun, but I did get to enjoy a lot of it too. So it was.
What is your role within Red Bull?
Okay, so I work for Red Bull Distribution Company as
Mm.
their office administrator part-time in Oklahoma City. So I literally work 9 to 1 every single day and then call it quits and work on my other hustle, right?
Yeah.
But in my former life, I was working in the technology space with the C-suite and managing a lot of events. And so I was actually flown in by the managing partner for Formula One Miami Grand Prix to work this event as an executive support person. So I got to manage all the back end stuff with the triple VIPs, right?
A lot of hands on deck at that event.
Hands on deck, little sleep, a lot of stress, a lot of running around. I mean, I almost had heat exhaustion because it was so crazy. But again, it was all worth it because I got to meet some people, see Max win and just hear the thunder and the roll, it was just ridiculous. But anyways,
Fun.
enough of that. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, the Red Bull family is fun. The perks of just working with this company is.
It's a wonderful company.
It really
Absolutely.
is.
Yeah, yeah. Gosh. Well, is this going to be, are you planning on writing any more books or what are you thinking?
Yes. Let
Yeah.
me just take your address real quick so I can get that off the plate.
Okay. Well, since I'm
So I can
recording
take it.
this, I'll send my address later, if that's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That way I'm not
Yep,
giving it
that's
out
fine.
to the world.
Fair enough.
I'll give your address to the world.
Yes. Good question, Amy. I am right now. I literally just stopped writing. I'm trying to plug away a few hundred words a day.
Really? So can I ask, are you able to share what you're writing next?
Yeah, it's I developed a framework with the memoir. It's an acronym. It's a method that I've used to help me recover from spinal cord injury, and it's a mindset acronym. It's really deducing things down to the basics. BASICS, and each letter in the context of the memoir is a period or a phase of my process. So it's a loose explanation of this acronym. So I'm kind of like seeding the second book with the memoir, my personal story, and the following book is a dive into the method,
Okay.
and which each letter really means and how I apply it in a cyclical process.
Okay. I
Kind of
see
like a
it. I
blueprint.
see a series here for you, Aaron, because it sounds like a self-help type book.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if you can, maybe your third book can be more like I'm just giving you ideas here, like a workbook or a guide or a journal. I don't know, but
Precisely. I really want to see, that my memoir is just the backstory. It's kind of the foundation, and it plants the seeds for the actual method. And then the method is going to be the base of which I can have seminars or retreats or actual, engagement with folks that need it,
Mm-hmm.
those that are overcoming adversity
Mm-hmm.
or facing adversity, whatever that is. I think we have a lot of mental health issues these days.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so that's the future of my work.
Okay. Well, I think, I mean, you're on the right track.
I mean, I can tell you the name and stuff. It's the. I mean, I like sharing this. I just haven't shared it much. But the title of the second book is called New Mind, spelled Pneumind.
Oh,
For the
okay.
word pneuma,
Uh-huh.
which is like stoic in thought or the essence of a person's creativity, and then mind. So it's this
Brilliant.
play on,
Brilliant.
yeah.
And I'm assuming you're going to self-publish all these others ones as well.
Um, I don't know, honestly. I don't know what kind of life this is going to have, who I'm going to align with.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that I do value having some ownership. I've been slightly stung in the past with like my documentary and some other things where others had owned my story or capitalized on the things that I had done,
Mm-hmm.
and I really want to value myself more
Yeah.
and then value the community. So I want to only have partners or companies that are aligned with that.
Yeah. No, I get it. This is your memoir is not only your debut book baby, but it's also um, your personal life and story. So it makes sense to own it from womb to tomb, as they say,
I like it.
um, the thing is, if you're doing a series or if you doing another book and you traditionally publish it, obviously that there's that whole process of querying editors and agents, getting the rejections, and then even if you get the agent, then they have to shop it for the publisher, and then it's another year or two out before it's actually on the shelves, and you don't have
Yeah,
own control and if you do the traditional route, it makes sense to also try to get your agent to represent you um, on your first book as well, if they're willing to buy that. That way you have a whole complete package. It's easier
yeah.
to, but that's,
What do
yeah.
you think about all that? I mean, I initially went the traditional route, shopping out a portion of the manuscript and just, I don't know, 50 or 60 no's.
Mm-hmm.
Until I'm finally like, you know what, this is wasting my time. I could just be
Yeah.
doing the work.
Yeah. There's pros and cons to everything. But I don't think you're a stranger to hard work. So I think indie publishing is probably the best route for you simply because you already have that platform, right, Aaron? You've got your followers and they've been through that journey with you. And so this is just one extra notch in your belt that, okay, now you've got your book. And I think it's going to do really, really well. And again, you get full ownership, full control, all the royalties. You can do release second, third editions, when you feel like you need to. Um,
That's good.
I
That's good.
Same thing with your audiobook, with you owning it. And when there's movie rights or whatever, you're going to own all of that.
Mm.
And if it gets translated, that's when you might want to see if there's an agent, that would represent the translation versions of it. But um, yeah, I published, as you can see, a few books,
Yeah,
and
that's
they're all
impressive.
indie.
Are they really?
Yeah, my first debut one was Snow in Vietnam, and I actually went through the whole query pitching process. I got 30 rejections and one yes, and one contract to traditionally publish, and I had to seek deep into my soul to figure out what I wanted to do. And at the end of the day, I turned down the contract and went the indie route. I don't have the platform that you do. I hustle every day for my books, but I'm so proud that it's mine,
Yeah.
So So it's a matter of
That's
just
a
like,
body of work. That is a lot of hard work.
it's a lot of
Kudos.
work. And now I help other authors indie publish their work too. So it's a lot of work, but um I enjoy it. And like I said, Red Bull is just my side hustle. This is my main hustle,
This
the
is your
writing.
passion projects.
Yes, absolutely. So hopefully it can be a career, a full career, one of these days. But
Has your work gone through the Celeste was telling me there's a book club within Red Bull. Have they read your books?
they did, and that's how Celeste
Got it. Okay.
yep. Which was very cool. So they did a employee spotlight for the diversity and inclusion thing on Beekeeper. And
Beekeeping.
I was the very first employee spotlight for Red Bull.
Huh.
And that's how they found out about me. And they read Snow in Vietnam. And I just met with them, I want to say like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago as
Oh,
a
wow.
guest on their book club thing. And it was great because they asked so many questions and I loved it. And
That's
that's going to be
fantastic.
new on a way bigger scale. But yeah, I mean, these book clubs and your fans are amazing when they read and your words touch them so much that they're taking that 5 minutes to write a review. It's
Mm.
like the best feeling in the world. And when you do your unboxing, like I told you, I love unboxing videos.
I can't wait. I can't
When you
wait.
hold your first book baby in your hand, it's like, I don't know. I get teary eyed. It's not even my book, and I see people do it, and I just get all emotional because I know.
It's so funny. I'm doing that now. I'm reacting so much differently as someone that's in the throes of this process. I have so much respect and admiration for somebody that has gotten their work to that point where they hold it and smell it and they can feel that.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
kudos,
Yeah.
that's
So and now
and yet
you're
so many books have been produced in the world. It's like, geez.
now you're going to learn some terminologies like you're a father, an F and then author, father of your book
Ah,
baby.
author.
Yeah, and you're going to be autographing books and doing all sorts of
Oh, listen to this stuff. Autograph. That's good.
yeah, yeah.
A author. That's fun.
So I guess with regards to your book launch, is there anything that's keeping you up at night that you are worried about?
Oh, I just want to make sure that, the manuscript is tight. I need to add in some acknowledgements just because in these last few months, like talking to you, talking to obviously Corey has been a huge help. Um, another one of my first editors, Stephanie. I just want to make sure that everybody's acknowledged. I don't want to open the book in its published form and be like, oh, shoot, you
Well,
know.
the beauty is because you indie published it, you can fix it, right? You don't have to wait 7 years to own the rights again and then fix it. So you can easily swap out that manuscript, put in another one. Nobody would even know. So
See, you're giving me confidence just in this call alone of this route of indie publishing
good.
because I mean, I've lost a little bit of sleep going, shoot, am I going in the right direction? Should I, solicit support or go another route? But to your point earlier, it would then just push out the whole timeline. It would, you
Yeah.
know, they potentially, I've heard a horror story of another new author who did go the traditional route and they just chopped her book up and they rewrote large portions of it
Yep.
and it just wasn't her voice, wasn't the original
Yeah.
message. And so
I've heard that too. I've had one author who forever for 7 years, she's going to have her character riding a motorcycle wearing a banana instead of a bandana on his head because they missed that, or another author who was told to rewrite her ending and they went back and forth. And in the end, her editor and her publisher just chopped things up and it didn't even the last chapter didn't even make sense when you read it. But so, I mean, but there's good things too. You have an agent and a publisher behind you. You have sometimes more dollars behind you and support that way. But yeah, I think
would an agent, I mean, is there any point in me having an agent at some point? Because I was put in touch with like David Goggins' agent. I haven't actually I've got the contact
mhm,
info, but David Goggins, the guy named John O'Leary, he's a
yeah,
prolific.
I think
writer.
what's wonderful about having agents are they just know the industry inside and out. They have these relationships and these networks with the publishing industry. You can get on the #1 best-selling list through New York Times and Washington. Like there's all these things that it's really hard for indie authors to get into because
Mhm.
we're not traditionally published. Agents do standard take 15% of your royalties, um, but they usually are worth it. They'll, and you can pitch to them your next book idea, and they'll take it and run with it, and they'll, sell it to a publisher. It's easier once you establish that relationship. It's just important too that you might, if it goes to become a movie or a web series or whatever, you might want to have a different agent if that agent's not an expertise in negotiating those kinds of contracts.
Mm.
But yeah.
So it's still just advantageous for me to just do it myself. And
What I think you can. Why not?
let's see how far we can push it, and then see what kind of life it has.
Hell yeah. Let's give it some wings, baby. It'll grow.
Hey, we're in that space, aren't we?
We are in that
It's
space.
all about wings.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Awesome.
once that book comes out, there's going to be even more doors that will open for you, and from more speaking engagements to, I don't know, whatever it is that you're passionate about. It's just going to open so many doors. I'm going to meet so amazing people that are authors. I mean, you already meet amazing people, but the authors, they're a whole different ball of wax. So
Well, I do look forward to plugging into some networks. I have a couple hospital networks that I would like the book to be presented right to the hands of those that are initially injured, spinal cord injured. I mean, the way I'm seeing this like launch is a short runway in my lane, right? Like my lane is spinal cord injury, right? And the book, in essence, is my life story, but it's the adversity of spinal cord injury. The message is applicable to many, not just spinal cord injury, but I want to launch the book through the channel of spinal cord injury.
Yeah.
And then once it kind of takes a little bit of flight, then it can, I think, have more impact beyond spinal cord injury.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to see just what happens with your journey in this book. I think it's going to go really, really far. So I have a favor to ask.
Yes. Yeah,
And
let's
it is
talk about
just what words of advice would you give to my brother who's going through this now? He's only a couple years in his journey and his accident. But where were you 20 plus years ago when this happened to you?
Yeah. First, what is his level of injury?
See, I'm not very clear. All I know is that what I shared with you is that he got hit by a car, completely blacked out, and he is able to move his arms because
How are his hands?
I think they're pretty good. He used to be he is a mechanic. He owns his own shop. I don't think he works there. He's just supervises there, and his hands are, from what I saw, pretty functional.
Were they affected though?
I want to say no, because I was able to see him like push his wheelchair pretty confidently, and
that's the telltale sign if it's a cervical injury or if it's a thoracic injury, meaning quadriplegic is a broken cervical like neck, and that affects, like me, my hands, my legs, everything. But if it's a lower injury on the thoracic or lumbar spine, then it's paraplegia, affecting just the lower torso and lower limbs.
Okay.
So, and that's a big difference.
Yeah, and I think it's the latter.
Okay. Well, then he's probably doing pretty well and probably pretty independent, because a lot of paraplegics, if they're, relatively active and healthy, can propel their own wheelchair and get back to activities of daily life fairly well. But there are a lot of complications that accompany the condition that, if you aren't diligent with your care and attention, like the bowel and bladder, kidney infections, bone density. You can have really brittle bones, which make you susceptible to a femur break or a broken bone, which is not something you want to deal with. But then pressure sores where your tissue would break down. These are all just issues that the uninformed would unintentionally find themselves suffering from. So it's in his interest to kind of be an astute student of his body and to learn how to listen to these little these issues that he otherwise wouldn't really be aware of because you can't feel very well, right? You are almost disconnected because of sensory impairment or motor dysfunction. The point is he needs to kind of pay attention.
Okay.
And like me, you don't know what you don't know in his new body. And if he's not immersed in some kind of social network or a support group, or if his healthcare professionals didn't educate him well, then he's kind of sent off to ask and answer his own questions and learn the hard way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A lot of people do.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I'll talk to him.
Connect me.
I will.
I'm super happy to talk with him.
Thank you. He was actually very excited that I was going to be talking to you today. And
no way.
Yeah, he was like, tell me all about it, like what you guys talk about. And I was like, actually, I'm going to ask Aaron if I can record it so you can just watch it and I don't have to re-explain.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, I will definitely connect you. He lives in Seattle as well. And
that city, man, I love that city, but it is a bear for a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I did
all the hills
video
and just I agree. It's not ADA friendly. It's
I'll send you here, I can link you right now, can't I? I can send you a link.
Yeah.
Send this to him.
Yeah, and actually, so I'm looking forward to receiving your book, and I'll read it and review it. But then when it's live, I'll buy a copy and send it to my brother in Seattle. And then yeah, we can't wait until your audiobook comes out either. So hurry up. I'm an audiobook junkie. Okay, super.
So I sent you this. It's a video series that didn't get a lot of play. I mean, there's going to be a larger version of it later.
Yeah.
But it's a series called Mobility in the City.
And
I went to Seattle, and it's me using my wheelchair and only using public transportation to get around. And it's just showing, look, man, you can have a good time in these great metropolis areas, and don't let the injuries slow you down or keep you from really experiencing all that Seattle or other places have to offer. So I did LA, I did Seattle, Philly, DC, Austin, bunch of cities.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll watch it for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And connect me to
Ben. Yeah, I'll connect you for sure. Gosh, so how long did it take you to get from your injury in 1999 to where you felt?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't answer that. It's the first 5 years were the most critical for me.
Yeah. Okay.
And it started with just the flicker of my left toe within the first 6 months, and those were just incremental improvements, months and years. From the flicker to a twitch of my leg to the ability to scratch an itch, hug my mother, and aquatic therapy was very important.
Yeah, I've heard about.
Aquatic therapy, something called Watsu.
Watsu, okay.
Yeah, I'll type it here. Watsu aquatic therapy.
Okay.
Visualization is something that I talk about in the book a lot. And my sister painted my toes with nail polish, just as kind of a cheeky little gag for trying to cheer me up one day early in the hospital. And they were rainbow colors, so blue, red, green, yellow, and so on. And they looked like Skittles. my toes sticking out of the end of the bed sheet. They look like Skittles. But I ended up actually using it as a target for my mind to focus on, the color.
Mm,
And it was a visualization technique that I had practiced as an athlete, right? You've heard it
yeah. Yep.
before, imagine technique and positive outcomes and such. But somehow instinctively I started to use the color as a tangible connection from my brain to my body.
Mm,
So my left big toe was blue. And I started to bring that color blue up my leg and through my body and into my spinal cord. And I just instinctively knew that it was an electrochemical interruption, right? There's nothing wrong with my body. It's strong,
mm,
it wants to move, but it's just an energy
mm,
movement.
mm.
So it was my way of transferring energy um, intentionally. I call it focused, willed intention.
I love it.
And so then I had my red toe and my green toe, and my right leg was red, and my left arm was green, and my right arm was yellow. And I started to swirl all this color of light through my body in a meditative state, using different breathing techniques. And so this was my way of actually making that reconnection. And science is proving now, without a shadow of a doubt, of the um, effects of neuroplasticity, the body's ability to rewire itself, nervous
Mm,
system.
I love it. Yeah, I always hear stories of people meditating, visualizing, and if you see yourself hitting that home run, you're going to hit that home run or whatever it is. And so yeah, I'll talk to my brother Ben because I don't know what his therapy looks like, what he does on a daily routine. I mean, he's got a pretty good family support system. I don't know about his therapy staff, his doctors, his whatever.
Yeah.
But super important. And yeah, I will definitely connect you two. And I can't wait to the book comes out so I can give it to him as well. Gosh, what
Well,
else can we cover? Anything else while we have each other here?
Um, no, I know we can talk much more, Ben and me, um, about process and combining good therapy programs with visualization.
Mhm.
They go hand in hand. You can't really do one without the other.
Yeah. So
Um,
let me, oh, okay. So switching back to your book, did you get a professional editor or did Corey do the edits for you?
I've had a few different editors.
Okay.
I've had Corey's my third, and he's kind of just the last refining brush, objective eye
Mm-hmm.
on it. I had a copy editor just before him, and before him, Stephanie Mojica was more of a developmental editor
Yeah.
in my first 3 drafts.
Okay.
And from there, after I got her book description in January, she thought I was ready to publish.
Oh,
And I got her description and I read the book, and I'm like, jeez, this is so unnecessary. Like, this book really does nothing for anybody other than just tell my story.
Hmm.
And that's where my wheels just kicked into overdrive, and I started shaping the framework of my method, and I restructured the entire content or context of the book. And since then, this entire vision has unfolded.
Mm.
So now the book is much, much more thanks to Stephanie's
Uh,
description.
would you say you're a plotter or a pantser when it comes to writing?
Say again? A
See,
plotter?
these are words you're going to have to learn
Here,
as
I'm
an
writing them
author.
down. I'm writing them down.
Plotters are people who outline everything, schedule, their days, their writing time frames. They're very regiment. And then there's the pantsers who fly by the seat of their pants. They let the characters or they let the story writing or they let just their hands take them wherever they go. And there's no rhyme or reason, but it all comes together in the end. Or
Interesting. How
you can,
fun.
yeah, you can be a hybrid of that as
I think
well.
that's where I land, and that's consistent with my personality. As I am right in the middle of. I've been a chameleon my whole life. I can navigate in different realms. So I feel like I'm a little bit of both. I love
Mm-hmm.
to fly by the seat of my pants because I
Yeah.
like to take risks, and I love to just do it.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's great value in the planning and the strategy, the habitual, patterns of quality choices. Like I'm big on habits. So
Cool.
it's like Buddhism and Stoicism.
Yeah. Are you going to do a book tour?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, you have to come to Oklahoma, so for sure.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, I've done crazy tours. I rode a bicycle across the country twice.
Yeah.
So I
So,
want to do another tour following a similar path, but with the book and with specific destinations in mind. So
all right.
Oklahoma
Well,
is definitely on that radar.
you know Oklahoma well, and I'm sure you know like the Full Circle bookstore and some of the other bookstores here that would love to have you. So,
Wow. Thank you so much for just taking
or if
the
you want, you
time.
can come and speak at one of our writing organizations. So I'm on the board for two writing organizations.
Oh,
One
wow.
is the Oklahoma City Writers Inc., which is a smaller writing group, and they're an affiliate of Oklahoma Writers Federation Inc., which I'm the publicity director for. And we're always looking for amazing speakers, but we're nonprofit, so we can't necessarily pay you. But if you're
Yeah.
ever in the mood to inspire, you're always welcome to
Well,
come.
it's time and a place for all of us.
Yeah.
That's really how I want to approach all of it. I'm not. I just want the book to be received by those that need it. So
It will be. I know it will be.
I love it. I love connecting with you. I appreciate your time. I really do.
Absolutely, Erin. It's good to get to know you, and I'll be stalking you on Facebook. Or actually, you're not on Facebook, are you? I'll be stalking
Yeah,
you
I'm
on
on
Instagram.
Facebook.
Are you?
There's,
Okay.
I'm just not super active on it. I mean, I've got my profile and history. I think that was. I mean, how old is Facebook now? Yeah.
As old as me, probably. But yes, I look forward to just keeping tabs on you on Instagram, and I'm sure we'll connect again. So,
I need to get my hands on. What should I read first from you?
Snow in Vietnam, that was my debut, and
Okay.
it's a trilogy. So the Snow trilogy, which is the collector's edition that you see behind me, that is actually
Yeah.
all three books in one.
Oh
Um,
wow. Okay.
yeah, but Snow in Vietnam is the first one. It's about my mom's escape from Vietnam after the fall of Saigon,
Wow.
after the communists rolled in. And then Snow in Seattle is about our assimilation into the American culture. And then Snow's Kitchen is it's half novella, half cookbook. So the last 100 pages or so is really about recipes and pictures. But yeah, so that's that. And then the Copper Phoenix is what I'm working on now. It's not out yet. I might pitch this one to be traditionally published. We'll see. But it's about my friend's life and how she survived sexual assaults and childhood abuse
Wow.
growing up. So it's a heavy, heavy one.
I love the title.
Thank you. Yeah.
I want to dig into
Well,
some
if
of
you
the.
read the books, you might want to have tissues.
Well, I want to dig into some of the recipes. Are they from your family?
Yeah, a lot of it is from my mom that either I've stolen from her or I've tweaked it. Some of them are my own recipes, and there's, obviously family photos and stuff like that in there. And my son was my taste tester. He's 13 now, but he loves Vietnamese cooking. So, yeah, there's an instant pot pho in there, which is like and the egg roll recipe. Those are the two really popular ones that people like.
I can imagine. Ooh,
If you do, I want to see a picture of you. Actually, I
right?
saw you were banned in the kitchen at one of the documentaries.
I was, yeah. Like I said, I tend to drop stuff. So I'm just a taster, designated taster.
That's the best. That's the best role.
It is.
Well, all right, my friend, I will let you go. I'm going to grab some dinner and let me stop recording.